Welcome traders, let me show you guys how we locked in over $3,600 trading INM this morning. Welcome traders, today is July 22nd and we're going to break down my INM trade this morning. Let's take a look at the chart here. On the 1 minute, you can see this very impressive push from $1.60 all the way up to $5.50. This happened on 550,000 shares in 1 minute. Unfortunately, every subsequent candle after that was red and the stock rolled over all the way back down to $1.84. So if you want to trade this chart, you have to be very patient here. And the reason is because this stock now has tremendous range. It went from $1.60 to almost $5.50. That's almost $4 in range, meaning that anybody who bought the dip, who bought this stock, is trapped. So if they are trapped, short sellers know that because they dumped the stock and they shorted it and they sold this stock all the way back down to $1.84. It's very important that you try to understand the psychology of this chart because if you look at this candle right here, the initial push happened on 550,000 shares. But every candle after that, every red candle after that was on tremendous volume. The subsequent candle happened on 900,000 shares. So this push happened on 500,000 shares, but the next candle happened on 900,000 shares. The candle after that, 700,000 shares. Also a red candle. The candle after that, 730,000 shares, also a red candle. Now, this candle here is incredibly important because if you look at the volume, it also happened on 720,000 shares, similar to the previous candle. But if you look at the body of this candle, this one has range. It made a high of $4.17 and a low of $3.30. This candle here has a range of almost $1. Meanwhile, this candle here with similar volume only has a range of about 30 cents. This is very telling because after that, you can see a massive flush down all the way to $2.10. I actually missed from 7 to 7.10 and I didn't see the stock move from $5 all the way back down to $1.60. I missed this entire move, but I wanted to short the stock because I understood where the buyers and sellers are. It's also important to remember that this stock only has 2.5 million shares in flow. In the morning, it already had about 20-30 million shares. So the flow rotation happened almost 10 times already. So you have to keep that in mind as well. It was very similar to another stock that I traded a few weeks back, FRTT. When a stock makes a massive push and a massive flush down, short sellers are all over this stock. They need to cover. They need to get out. They need to create liquidity to get out. Because if they don't and they cover, they are going to create a massive short squeeze themselves. That's what happened. You can see that it slowly grinds all the way back up to $3 and it was starting to reject this area. When I saw this move here, my initial thoughts were this $3 level was going to be a very crucial point in where this stock ends up. I started taking my short after this $3.30. I wanted to take a short in this level here because you can see that there is some resistance around this $3.15 level, which is why this little pocket here rejected the 315. But in my experience, these things like to break out first. This stock has almost 10 times flow rotation on 2.5 million shares. I knew that this was going to grind all the way back up, make another top, break this high to exit early short sellers and trap long buyers. This is the fundamental game that you have to play and understand. If you're trading stocks, you need to understand what the other side wants to do and where they are at. This top here and this top here was meant to entice more momentum traders and also squeeze out early short sellers because you see this massive candle right here. This dropped from $3 to $2.67, it didn't work. It didn't work. This drop here did not result in a break below the support at 260, and that's why it grinded all the way back up and broke the previous pivot at around $3.10 to squeeze out early short sellers and trap more momentum traders, and then it slowly started to fade. Now, I started shorting after this push. I started shorting at $3, I started shorting at $2.80, and I added a little bit more at $2.70. I held out as long as I could. I expected this stock to fade all the way back down to about $1.60 to $1.70. But because this consolidation happened for such a long period of time, I tried to hold out, but I couldn't. And you can see even in the opening market, it made a push all the way back up to $2.30. I held through this push because I was very confident I could get $1.60. But after all of these pushes and all of these relief bounces, I could not hold on any longer because the range was expanding on me. I was up almost $4,000 in this area, and I just didn't want to hold it. I missed the dip down here below $2, and after the pop, I started getting out half my position around 205, and I held out for the continued fade below $1.90. And you can see from the chart right now, it's finally fading. But if you look at this volume bar right here, it's massive. This drop happened on 400,000 shares. Unfortunately, I couldn't hold out, and my average exit was $2.06. I got most of my position out around $2.04 and $2.05, and I had a little bit out at $2.10. I missed out. This 20 cents would have been nice, but that's my trade for today. I'm going to show you my actual P&L here. We made $3,608.26. Our exits, $2.09, $2.11, and half our position at 201, 205, and 204. Our aggregates, our average entry was $2.78 and average exit $2.06. We made almost 30% on this move. And you can see from the 1 minute chart right now that this drop from 206 all the way down to about $1.90, this happened on almost 500,000 shares. So that's all for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.